Hi, my friend. Before we begin, take one soft breath with me. Not a big one, just a simple, quiet breath. In and out. Wherever you are in this moment, on a bus, at your desk, in your room with dim evening light, I'm glad you're here. It isn't easy to sit down with yourself. It isn't easy to pause. But you showed up. That already means something. Some days feel heavy before they even start. You open your eyes, and there's a quiet weight on your chest. You haven't done anything yet, but the world already feels loud. If today feels like one of those days, stay with me. Let's walk slowly together. I want to share a few small ways to return to hope, in simple English and in a gentle rhythm your heart can follow. People often think positive people wake up glowing. They imagine a natural sparkle, a natural smile, a natural strength, something you're born with, or born without. But I've learned something different. And maybe you've seen it too. The most positive people I've met were not the people who had perfect days. They were the ones who carried storms inside them, but still chose light softly, again and again. I once knew someone who always smiled at work. Everyone said she was the sunshine of the office. But one afternoon, I found her sitting alone in the break room staring at her hands. She looked tired, not weak, just deeply human. She smiled at me and said, "Positivity isn't easy, Luna. It's something I practice. Every day." And she's right. Positivity is not a personality. It's a skill. A practice. A choice we remake gently. You don't need to be upbeat all the time to be positive. You don't need to be fearless or confident or certain. You only need to be willing to return. Even if you return slowly. And if you're learning English, you already know what practice feels like. Step by step, word by word. Day by day. Let me ask you something softly. When you wake up, what happens inside your mind? Before the noise, before the messages, before the world arrives, what comes first? For a long time, my first thought was fear. Before I even saw the light in the room, my heart was already racing. My mind was already building a list of everything that could go wrong. I remember one morning clearly. The window was open a little. The air was cold enough to make my skin wake up, but inside my chest, everything felt tight. My breath was thin, like it didn't want to stay. That morning, I realized something simple. If the first thought of my day was fear, the rest of the day tried to match it. It followed me like background music, quiet but constant. So I tried something very small. I wrote 2 words on a sticky note beside my bed. Start soft. The next morning when my eyes opened, the room was still half dark. I felt the old fear waiting at the door of my mind, but before it entered, I looked at the note. And I whispered, "Start soft." Just 2 words, just one breath. But it created a tiny space inside me. A space where my body could pause. A space where my mind could choose differently. Your first thought doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be gentle. Maybe tomorrow, try one of these. I can handle today. This moment is new. One soft step. The first thought of your day is the first note of your music. Let it be quiet. Let it be kind. Let's move to something deeper, something many of us forget. Your energy. How many times have you said yes when your heart whispered no? I used to do it every week. Join every plan. Answer every message. Listen to everyone's problems, even when my own heart felt thin. There was a period when I thought kindness meant being open to everything, to everyone. All the time. But one evening I came home exhausted. My feet hurt. My mind was noisy. My chest felt heavy. And I asked myself a small, simple question. Why am I giving more energy than I have? That night, the sky outside was a soft blue, almost gray. The air felt still. And in that stillness, I understood something. Being positive doesn't mean being available. Being kind doesn't mean being open to everything. Your attention is precious. Not everything deserves it. Not every voice deserves to enter your mind. Imagine your energy as a small garden, not a big fancy one. Just a quiet space with a few plants you love. If you let everyone walk through it, if you let every noise enter, your garden loses its color. But if you put a gentle fence around it, not a wall, just a fence, your garden can breathe again. It can grow again. Tonight, ask yourself softly, who makes my shoulders relax? Who makes my breath shorter? What drains me quietly every day? Choose one small no, just one. A no that brings you back to yourself. People often say, just be grateful. But when your heart is tired, those words feel heavy. They feel like pressure, like a rule you can't follow. But gratitude is not a rule. And it's not a big emotion. Gratitude is a pause, a small doorway, a moment where you say, this one thing is good. Let me tell you about a day I still remember. I had walked for almost an hour, thinking about all the things I needed to do, all the ways I felt behind. The sky was fading into gold. The air smelled like dust and warm pavement. My head was loud. Then, for no special reason, I looked up. There was a tree beside the road, just a small one. But the light touched its leaves in a way that made them glow, soft, fragile, alive. I stopped walking. I breathed. And in that tiny pause, something inside me loosened. I thought, this is beautiful. I'm still here. That moment didn't fix my life. It didn't solve my problems. But it reminded me that even in hard seasons, small beauty still exists. Gratitude doesn't need a list. It needs attention. Maybe today you noticed the warmth of a mug in your hands, a quiet room, a small message from someone who cares, the courage to keep learning English. These things are not small. They are seeds. They change you quietly, from the inside out. Now let's talk about the days that feel heavy. The days when even getting out of bed feels like work. I've had mornings like that. Mornings when my mind felt slow, my chest felt tight, and even speaking softly felt like too much. On those days, I told myself one sentence. Luna, just one thing. Not 5 things, not a whole plan, just one email, 1 cup of water, 1 small cleaning task. 1 minute of English practice, 1 breath. What surprised me was this. Doing one small thing didn't fix the day, but it shifted something inside me. Just a little. Just enough. We often wait to feel good before we take action. But sometimes you take action first, and then the feeling follows slowly, like soft light at the edge of a curtain. Your mood will rise and fall like weather, but your values, your kindness, your effort, your courage can stay steady. So, if today feels hard, ask yourself gently, what is one small thing I can do that matters? Even if you do it slowly, even if you do it tired, it still counts, more than you think, more. So tonight or tomorrow morning, or whenever you come back to these words, remember the 4 gentle habits. Start soft. Protect your energy. Notice one small good thing. Do one small good action. Choose only one to practice this week. Just one. Let it be easy. Let it be gentle. You're listening to English. You're learning to understand yourself. You're practicing courage in the quietest way. I'm proud of you for being here, for taking this slow journey, for choosing softness in a world that often asks you to be hard. This little corner of calm will always be here for you. Whenever you need to breathe, whenever you need to return, whenever you need to begin again.